Welcome to my e-learning course about mastering the art of communication. I've selected the parable of the donkey, tiger and lion as our gateway, a timeless tale illuminating the essence of meaningful discourse through wisdom, understanding and tranquility. Here is the tale, authored by William Meller, an experienced coach for management, leadership, and career development.
He said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is in fact green." The discussion began to heat up, so the two decided to go before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue." The donkey continued, "The tiger disagrees with me and contradicts and is annoying me. Please, will you punish him?" The lion then declared that the tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence. The smug donkey jumped cheerfully and went on his way. The tiger, having accepted his punishment, then asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is in fact green." The lion replied, "Indeed, the grass is green." The puzzled tiger then asked, "So why are you punishing me?" The lion, looking down at the tiger, his wisdom shining through, replied, "This has nothing to do with the question of whether or not the grass is either blue or green. The punishment is because it is not possible for a brave and intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with a donkey. And on top of that, come and bother me with such a foolish question. The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and a fanatic, who does not care about either truth or reality, but only to be the victor of their own beliefs and illusions. There are people out there who, no matter how much evidence is presented before them, have no capacity to understand, blinded by their own ego, hatred and resentment. All they want is to be right, even if they are wrong."
This ancient narrative frames our journey towards communication mastery, which we start with this first module about the essence of communication. The art of presentation, publication and persuasion, cultivated through deliberate and consistent practice, transforms how others receive your points, your ideas. By understanding fundamental principles and applying them with intention, you will develop the ability to express complex thoughts with remarkable clarity and conviction while maintaining inner calm. This balanced approach to communication will set you apart in any professional environment, even turning potential conflicts into opportunities for connection. Let's discover the two simple models behind precise, adaptable, and impactful communication. It empowers you to persuasively present your research at conferences, in journals, and on posters to convince funding agencies and to simplify research for a broad audience. My offer to you: gain a fresh perspective on communication with tools tailored to PhD students. In the next approximately 20 minutes, we decode the Shannon-Weaver model by streamlining how you deliver complex ideas by mastering the sender-message-receiver dynamic. We will also leverage the Kinneavy rhetorical framework by learning to adapt your writing and speaking for diverse academic and professional audiences. We bridge the gap by applying these models to simplify collaboration with colleagues, advisors, and reviewers. Your long-term benefit: increase the chance of your work being published, funded, and recognized. It lays a strong foundation for your career, no matter the path you choose. Let's start this first basic communication module with a simple overview of the two different models of communication. The model of Claude Shannon and Warren Weaver describes communication as a linear process that is based on the transmission of information from a receiver through a channel or medium to the receiver. This model, published in 1948, conceptualizes communication as a mechanical technical process focused on the effective transmission of information from point A to point B, whereby messages are treated as discrete packets of information that can be encoded, transmitted, and decoded. Why do I mention this model? It helps you systematically diagnose where communication fails. When a message isn't getting through, you can check each component. Is the problem with how you're encoding your message? Is there noise in the channel? Is the receiver not equipped to decode properly? This diagnostic approach is invaluable for troubleshooting. The model of James L. Kinneavy describes communication as purpose-driven. Kinneavy's theory, published in 1971, remains highly significant for understanding contemporary communication because it provides a comprehensive framework that addresses the complexities of modern communication contexts and is audience-centered. In an area of social media, digital marketing, political discourses, and global business communication, understanding the rhetorical dimension of communication, ethos, pathos, logos, is essential for the credibility and effectiveness. As heard, understanding the Shannon-Weaver model is important for successful communication because It provides a foundational framework for identifying and addressing basic mechanics that can make or break any communication attempt. In the following, I want to highlight 4 mechanical elements of the Shannon-Weaver model that helps you either prepare for successful discussions about complex or delicate issues, or diagnose and resolve problems when discussions went wrong. The sender is not only the information source and creates a message. He or she communicates using specific communication skills like verbal, written, body language, facial expressions, tone of the voice, and the voice itself. Attitudes like empathy, openness, patience. Knowledge such as facts and figures. Beliefs like mutual respect. Social systems and cultures in which the sender has been socialized. The same is true for the receiver, who additionally might have certain expectations and or prejudgments. Perhaps the model's most practical contribution is highlighting how noise, anything that interferes with your message, can disrupt communication. This can be interpretation, misinterpretation, ambiguity, misunderstanding, or simply a poor audio quality or environmental noise. The awareness of noise makes you more conscious of physical distractions, emotional barriers, cultural differences, poor timing, or unclear language that might prevent your message from landing as intended. The Shannon-Weaver model teaches the importance of confirming understanding or repeating your assumption and creating two-way dialogue rather than just broadcasting information. The 4th mechanical element is the channel selection. Being aware of different channels helps you to decide what is more appropriate to successfully place your message. Face-to-face, by email, through presentation, or another medium based on your message's complexity and your audience's needs. It's now your turn before we dive into the model of Kinneavy. Experience why the Shannon-Weaver communication model matters. Observe communication, your own and that of the others, and recognize potential disruptions occurring in your private and professional life. Now to the second communication model created by James L. Kinneavy. Kinneavy studied classical rhetoric philosophy and literature, and had a strong grounding in Aristotelian rhetoric, focusing on the relationship between the speaker or communicator or ethos, convincing by his character, the audience or pathos, appealing by emotion, and the message or logos, convincing by facts and figures. This heavily influenced his communication model, a simple and flexible framework of a communicator audience message triangle that enables to craft a message that achieve specific goals with particular audiences. Hence, he showed that the connection in the triangle is purpose-driven. Each of these purposes connects the communicator, the audience, and the message with a certain quality. James Kinneavy differentiated between 4 types of purposes. Being expressive, which means focusing on the communicator, who often explores personal thoughts and emotions, as expressed in all sorts of communication. Being referential, which means focusing on facts and logical arguments of a message, such as in science and technical communication. Being persuasive, which aims at influencing the audience beliefs, attitudes, or actions, such as in media and advertising. Being literary, the last type of purpose, is focusing on aesthetic qualities and artistic expressions, such as in different sorts of literature. Hence, the communicator in this picture could be a teacher explaining the structure of a pin cone, or an influencer saying that if we are not stopping car driving, the pin cones he shows are the last they will see. Accordingly, the kids will be excited about the cool structure of the pin cone, or might tell their mom they will now walk home, since car driving is bad for the climate and hence for the cones. Keep in mind that if you want to effectively reach your audience, you must be aware of the purpose of your message, who it is intended for, and the environment in which it is communicated. Kinneavy's theory provides a timeless framework for understanding and practicing effective communication. In a world where clarity, purpose, and audience engagement are crucial, his ideas serve as a roadmap for crafting meaningful and impactful messages, whether it is a simple email or a pitch to investors. Similarly, when listening to others, consider the why, who, and how of their message, as well as the context in which it is conveyed. This approach significantly enhances critical listening and thinking, especially in an era increasingly filled with misinformation and manipulative communication, both online and offline. Now it's again your turn. Practice the Shannon Weaver model that will enable you to systematically diagnose where communication fails and familiarize with the 4 types of purposes created by Kinneavy to significantly increase the credibility and effectiveness of your message. The dual framework of Shannon Weaver's and Kinneavy's model allows a clear and purpose-driven communication, which is a great advantage to effectively reach your audience. Shannon Weaver asks, how is the message sent? And Kinneavy, why is the message sent? Shannon Weaver focuses on clarity, the channel, and the noise, and Kinneavy on the purpose, the audience, and the context. Shannon Weaver can be used for troubleshooting, and Kinneavy to advance credibility and effectiveness by also integrating the 5 senses: hearing, seeing, touching, smelling, and tasting. This opens a bunch of possibilities to express, inform, influence, or just entertain a specific audience. Let's summarize what you have heard in the last 20 minutes with Bob's story about the pink cones. Bob remembers his father, who has told him the story about the pink cone folks when he was a little boy. Bob translates this story into the same warm voice which his father has used. The story about the pink cone folks is transmitted while the birds are twittering in the background without disturbing. Bob's warm voice creates a trusting atmosphere, and the kids and their mom listen attentively. The kids and their mom decode or interpret the story with their personal attitude, experiences, and knowledge. What is Bob's purpose? He wants the kids to seriously care for nature. What is the need of the kids and their mom? They want to learn more about the pink cones and particularly which mechanisms enables the cone scales to open and close repeatedly. Which channel is Bob using? To achieve his purpose, Bob has invited the kids to a get-together in the forest and embedded the scale mechanism into an emotional story. How does Bob minimize the noise? Bob speaks with a warm and soft voice to ensure that his audience is listening attentively. For teaching, he has chosen the forest, the home of the pink cones, but also of the birds. Yes, the entire nature. It might be that the one or other kid will link the pink cone story with hearing birds twittering, which keeps the story a long time in their mind. Applying the Shannon Weaver and Kinneavy models reveals previously overlooked patterns in your daily communication. Keep practicing these analytical approaches. They become invaluable tools that simplify communication challenges throughout your career and personal life. In the next module of this e-learning course, we'll continue our communication mastery journey with what it needs to deliver engaging presentations that captivate any audience. Hence, see you next time.